Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. This is Dr. Novak. I wanted to make a request with this particular video, what I would like. I want to do something a little different than you see with YouTube videos, which I've seen on some videos, but nothing with any of your fish channels. So I want to do something different. And I think everybody will benefit from what I want to try out. Even those novice and those who are more professionals, if you want to say, or people who have been doing it for years can even benefit from this. So let me explain to you what I want. And I think we can get a lot of information by this. What I want is, I'd like to have people send me some pictures, but also tell me, like, what kind of filter you're using. Are you using a hang on the back? Are you using canister? You don't have to be elaborate. Just say, oh, I'm using a Fluvo hang on the back filter. That way we have information that you're using a hang on the back and the brand name. That's all you have to say. Using a canister, say, I'm using a canister filter. It's a Fluvo number 4 canister filter. You don't have to be elaborate on how many gallons per hour or anything else or how it's packed. Also, you can give information like, are you using a plenum? Did you make one yourself, or did you buy like an under gravel filter? If you bought an under gravel filter, what was the name of the under gravel filter? If you just bought one, or if you made it yourself. If it's not an already made one, something you have to put together, like I know on Amazon or stuff, just say homemade. You made a homemade plenum, so people can see that you did a homemade one and didn't buy something off the shelf. People like that information because it gives them ideas on what they do. If you use like a crate and put a screen over it, and then using bio balls to lift it up off the ground, whatever, you're doing, or just, it doesn't have to be a lot written, that's what I'm trying to prevent, that people don't have to write a long story behind what they've done. You're just going to give pictures and you're going to get a list, and then I can tell everybody what you did. If you want your name to be publicized, I could say like Kathy Smith. This is her aquarium. If you don't want your name, just say, oh, I don't mind using my first name, don't use my last, or you may say, don't use my name at all. Then I would just say, well, one of the hobbyists that watch my YouTube channel. Your privacy is confidential. Just let me know. If you don't mind, if I use your name, I could say, this is Kathy Smith's aquarium, and this is some pictures of her aquarium, and this is how she made a plenum if she uses one. Does she use a hang on the back? Does she use a sponge filter? They'll be able to tell what kind of fish you have, so you don't even have to tell me your fish. Basically, we're going to tally information, and all this information can be tallied up, so everyone can see that, oh, this manufacturer seems to be used a lot more than this manufacturer, but it also will tell people how you set up your aquarium. A lot of people, I know there's clubs and stuff, but a lot of people can't talk to other people to find out, well, what did they do? How did they do it? Maybe I can do it. A lot of people in different countries do things different than we do. It's good to find out, what did they do? Does it work? If you want to add your test results in there, fine. If you don't, that's fine too. We're just trying to show people your aquarium. This is not a critique. We're not critiquing anybody's aquarium. Okay, whatever you like, I don't care if you have a pink gravel in your aquarium with a SpongeBob SquarePants bubbler. That is not what, if you have that, that's fine. Because a lot of people who contact me say, oh, I set something up for my kids. Fine. Tell us like what kind of light you're using. We can get an idea then if people are using homemade lighting systems, like I've talked about. Are they using lighting systems that they bought? Are they using the Fluval? Are they using Hager? Are they using something? And we can get an idea that, wow, look at all the people using this particular brand lighting system compared to this brand. We can even tally up information. I can tally up information so everyone can see that, oh, I see, 70% of the people are using hang on the back. They really don't use canisters. So we can get information to let each other know what we are doing throughout the world, or throughout the United States, or throughout the world, Canada, United Kingdom, Norway, whatever. We can see how they are doing their aquariums. And this will be very informative to us, because this is something I don't think is really out there, where let's find out what everybody's doing and tally up the information of what they're doing. Because nobody, from what I see on YouTube, nobody has done this idea of, let's get some information, photos, so we can show people other people's aquarium. Like I've said in the past, we don't need picture perfect aquariums. That's not what we're looking for. None of my aquariums are picture perfect. They're not. I don't care. And I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who don't care that they don't have picture perfect aquariums, because a lot of people, like, for example, African cichlids, they go with African cichlids because they don't want plants. They don't care if they have plants. They may have a couple of plants, that's it. They don't care. They have hardscape. They may have rocks or something, and they like that, and that's one reason they like African cichlids. They don't have to deal with plants. If you don't have to deal with plants, don't have to worry about putting all kinds of fertilizers in your aquarium. You don't have to worry about any of that, okay? They may be dealing with Oscars or geophagus that constantly dig up. What did you do? You don't have to tell us what fish you have, of course, because we'll be able to look at the pictures. Now, the pictures. Photos that I run into are sometimes blurry photos. I can't use them because, you can't see them. Even though I kind of, when I do my videos, I try not to make them of the highest quality, because it takes too long to upload the whole video and stuff like that, and takes longer for YouTube to deal with. So I do it about at 720, which gives you a fair, visual effect, or it looks pretty clear compared to the old way of doing it. So 720 is what I use. But your photos, you got to take your photos, and like on Apple, they have preview. You move your photos over to preview, and you can take a large photo. Let's say it's 3.4 megabytes. Well, you got to take that into kilobytes and bring it down a little bit. And sometimes 1800 by so many pixels, 1800 by or 1900 pixels by 1600 pixels will usually give you so many kilobytes, like 450 kilobyte picture. Well, a lot of emails will allow you to send, I think, anywhere between 10 to 15 megabytes of attachment or pictures. So you can send them directly in the emails by attaching them, as long as they're small enough. If you send a big picture that's over 300 or 3 megabytes or 2.8, 3.4, whatever, they take up a lot of room, and you can't get very many pictures to send then by email. So I know that, I don't know what Gmail is where you would send them to. Gmail. I think they're probably like Hotmail or any of the other mailers that are out there. I think they do permit about 15 megabytes of photographs. So you can send a few photographs if you shrink them down. I know that on Microsoft computers, they have the same thing. I think they have Painter or something like that. You put your picture in, and it'll say adjust size. And then you just adjust the size, and it will tell you then how many megabytes or kilobytes that picture is, that photo is. Then you can attach it onto the email, so then I can download everything and use it for the videos that I make. And usually they take these and they will put them at the end of a video of people's systems or aquariums and what they're using, so other people can get an idea. The more I get, okay, the more information I can get, the more I can tally up that information and give it back to you, the hobbyists, because we really don't know what people are using. I don't know what everybody's using. I just come on and we see the advertisements, we see what, you know, these YouTube channels are advertising, but what are you really using in your aquarium? Are you using sponge filters? Is that the preference? Did you do away with your sponge filters and now you're using a plenum and you don't need sponge filters anymore? It would be nice to find this information out. Another bad thing, of course, is that like 65% of the people who watch these videos, they don't even subscribe. So you lose a lot of subscribers. But since I have a pretty good sum of people that have subscribed to my channel, I figured I ought to get a few people who will take pictures of their aquarium and tell me what they're using. Now, I understand people from other countries are going to have other brand names, but that's okay. You know, if you're not in the United States, I don't care. Or if you're in Canada, I don't care if you have different brand names, but we can get an idea. Like in Australia, they have under gravel filter plates, but they're a different manufacturer. So what? You just use an under gravel filter plate, and here's the manufacturer. That's good. I see on YouTube nobody is really doing this, so I thought, well, I'm going to try it and see if you guys can give me some information. We can help each other out. Okay. I will give you the email. It'll be in this video where you can send things to me, your information with your pictures, so you can go on a video and I can explain to people what you're doing. For those people who don't like to write, there's nothing you really have to write. Just basically give me your pictures and a list of what you're using. A lot of this happens with like stereo equipment. People will show off their stereo. They'll just show you a picture or two of their stereo, and then it's explained to you what equipment they're using. Okay, like their cables, their speakers, their amp, preamp, and basically that's what I want to do. Just explain to people what you're using. It doesn't have to be complicated. So if you can help, I would appreciate it. I think that is the whole thing. I don't know of any YouTube channels out there who are really doing that. They're basically telling you everything instead of you telling them what you have done and how you're successful. That's what I want. I want you to tell me and everybody else, which are close to 13,000 subscribers. And don't forget, 65% of the people that watch my YouTube channel don't even subscribe. That's a big number. So we can get the information out to the subscribers so they then can see how successful they are, to teach you and me, to teach me also what are we doing wrong or what we're not doing wrong. If you want to give information, the more information, that's totally up to you. You don't have to make a big project on it. Few pictures, it only takes a few. If you want 2 or 3 pictures, that's it. That's it. That's more than enough. 2, 3 pictures. Try to make sure they're nice and clear. You can dumb them down a little bit so they don't take up so much megabytes, and you can send them right by the email. So I will give you a link in this video on where to send it. My Gmail account, that's what it's there for. It's tied in with the YouTube. Send it there. I'll get to it. People can get their questions answered. just by looking at what other people are doing. It happens. And some of the old timers out there, you know, they have a lot to contribute that, hey, I used to do this a long time ago, but I do it this way, or I used to use undergravel filters and I was very successful. Then I stopped and then I went down and now I'm starting up again and hey, I'm very successful again. That's what we want to hear. That's what we want to relay the message out to people all over the world. So this is Dr. Novak. I want to thank you for watching. Subscribe to my channel. And until next time, happy fish keeping.